Hello and welcome everyone to a late night edition at Anfield Road TV. Hope you're all well and Liverpool. It's been a while and been very busy as you already know anyway. But Reds, it's not too bad. Another final awaits for Liverpool. I tell you what, we're absolutely bloody flying under our slot. Reds, if you are watching on the live, get involved in the comment section below. If you are watching on the repeat, do always jump in the comments. Not just me, but everyone on the community will very much get involved as well. And it's gonna be a nice chilled stream. Speak about obviously the game against Tottenham, the second leg semi-final, which was absolutely emphatic, really, to say the least. Probably for me, one of my favourite performances of the season, and especially under Arne Slot, it's been absolutely fantastic as well. But big up there, chat. If you are new around here, make sure you do hit that subscribe button down below. Everyone's welcome. Doesn't matter if you're a Tottenham fan, a Plymouth fan, or whatever. We all just love football around here anyway. We're not a Liverpool channel, but yeah. If you are getting your comments in, we will read out every single one of them as well. So we'll speak a bit about that, a little bit about transfers, delve into a bit about that. There's a little bit come out this afternoon in regards to very much. This evening, reports speculating in regards to Liverpool's attacking options coming into next season as well. Big up there, Miss Melina, you're absolute legend. Hope you're well. Big up there, Lee. I'm good. I suspect the wider Liverpool fan base are too. With plenty to smile about. 100% there, Lee. And it's good to see a couple of new faces in the comments as well, chat. Very much appreciated. Massive thank you to everyone that has been supporting me on the Anfield Index shows as well. Absolute legends, very much appreciated. But yeah, and big up there, Calvin. Big up, lads. How are we? Big up, Miss Melina. Big up, Melina. Obviously, the FA Cup. We'll go through a couple of the FA Cup games as well. Obviously, the Ev getting beat, which is sound. Or we will be there. I know I'm laughing, but it's gonna be. We all know if you're a Liverpool fan, it's gonna be an absolute. It's going to be very, very difficult. Not difficult to beat them because we've got quality, of course we have. But it's always derbies and Everton fans, given the context in and around that fixture in a couple of days' time. Yeah, they're going to build it up like Champions League final, mates, because it is. They're El Clasico, to say the least, anyway. But for us, it's just another 3 points on our way to hopefully number 20 as well. Long way to go. Plenty of long way to go. Chas, have you enjoyed the football this evening? I don't know if you've seen the Leighton audience. Absolute thunder. Rockets. It went down as an own goal, but proper Sunday League goal, innit? Like, you just expect the goalkeeper to not be off his line that far anyway. But sadly, City, with all their multi-millions coming off the bench, brought on Kevin De Bruyne in that second half. But fair play to Leighton audience, to Orient really, to give it a go. And that's all you can ask for, considering they only got beat 2-1 as well, especially against a multi-billion football club that is the great big Manchester City as well. Ipswich, big 4-1 win away from home against Coventry. Expected really against their quality really. Obviously Frank Lampard, he's had a bit of a weird start there in regards to obviously Coventry, and we all seen their unprecedented run in the FA Cup last season for Coventry, which was very good, to say the least. It was the FA Cup or League Cup, one of them anyway, where they got all the way to the semi-final. Can't do that this season, of course, but obviously Millwall get beaten Leeds United. That's very much a big surprise there. Chas, has been any surprises for you in regards to the FA Cups today, really? So in terms of Chelsea just beaten before we come on air live here tonight, chat. Brighton, I tell you what, if you're a Brighton fan, in all honesty, how are you feeling? For me, I'm absolutely buzzing if I'm a Brighton fan. You've had your sporting director nicked. You've had Saicedo nicked off you. You've had, all the other countless. Your manager nicked as well. It was a Graham Potter going to Chelsea. So, and Brighton, the structure of their football club, in terms of one of the most best run clubs in European football, as we know. And they keep on ticking along, really. Obviously, they just lost their manager last season to Marseille as well. So everything that gets thrown at Brighton over the last couple of seasons, they very much succumbed it and got over it, really, to say the least. And obviously, as we mentioned, 2-0. Nice one, Bournemouth. obviously, I think it was Preston beat um, Wickham. Yeah, we beat Wickham on penalties. So let's hope we can, if we do progress, Liverpool tomorrow. Obviously, the draw will be tomorrow afternoon as well. So let's hope Liverpool are in the round for the next round of the FA Cup. But we'll speak about a Plymouth game in a little second. Burnley, probably a big surprise. The lad, the Sporting Lisbon lad, Edwards, obviously the former Tottenham Hotspur winger anyway. I was speaking to the lads before to come on here this evening, and he was saying that's his level, and I think he's a decent player, really. Edwards. I think I seen, if you remember, there's an interview out there on YouTube of like a former academy director that taught Edwards, and he just said he's probably one of the most technically gifted footballers he's ever coached, and I think he coached like Bale and everyone really, which just mad. But I think he's gonna be an absolute stunning signing, really, to say the least, for Burnley in terms of like that level of football. No respect, even though the Championship, as we know, is probably one of the most difficult leagues in European football. But I think having a caliber of player of like Edwards in that Burnley team, I think he'll only very much go on to push on to greater things with that Burnley side. Cardiff beat Stoke City. That went all the way to penalties. That was 3-3, so that was probably game of the day, really, in regards to all the goals. Fulham beat Wigan 2-1. Go ahead, Wigan. Give it a go anyway. And Newcastle winning 3-2 away from home against Birmingham City. So, yeah, it's been a bit of a chock-a-blocker day for goals and everything, really, Reds. So, very resilient team. Big up there, Neil. Hope you're well, mate. And chat, hope you've all had a very good, fine Saturday evening, or whatever you've been up to, everyone. If you didn't work or whatnot, go and absolutely smash it, or what, and that good stuff as well. So, yeah, for Liverpool, chat, any Liverpool fans in the chat anyway, what were you thinking on that result against Tottenham? I felt it was a very astute performance by Liverpool. I think, as I said at the top of the show, probably for me, one of Liverpool's, if not our best performances of the season, really, to say the least. And I'll just quickly get up there. It was an absolute drubbing, really, in all honesty. I think Tottenham, obviously, quite rightly so. It's quite rightly they celebrated the first leg, but I think if they didn't learn from Barcelona a couple of years ago, it's Liverpool coming to Anfield. Doesn't matter what team it is, it's going to be an absolute, or even if it's a five-a-side tournament, and you've still got to come to Anfield or whatnot. There's still an uphill battle, mountain to climb, really, to say the least, in that regard. But yeah, it's very good match. The Newcastle one, big up there, Neil. Did you watch that, mate? Yeah, was it a controversial penalty potentially? For Birmingham, was it? There's no one that, mate. But in terms of Liverpool and against Tottenham, I think it was a phenomenal performance. I think certainly one of the best performances I've seen from Dominic Szoboszlai. In terms of his the last couple of weeks, I think he's probably one of being, for me, Liverpool's best output performers. Really, I think the connection really between him, McAllister, even though McAllister come on in the second half, um, over the last couple of weeks as well, he's been coming in and out. But I think the connection between Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, and McAllister, I said at the beginning of the season, even 3-4 weeks in, I come out the traps very early. I just said it's the best midfield in world football, and I'll still stand by that. The main thing is Liverpool need to keep those three lads fit. But I just think they've got so much to offer, really, in terms of everything. You look at Gravenberch's athleticism, certainly with Szoboszlai as well. That's one of his biggest attributes, is physicality. But of course, Szoboszlai now, over recent weeks, has been adding to the goal tallies, getting assists as well. And I think that's the next evolution of Szoboszlai, really, for me as a player. In that regard, is very much to be consistent now. Like, for a player, for me, the player that he can be and the player he could be and I want him to be at Liverpool, like all of us, I'd expect minimum 10 goals, 10 assists every single season. I think you'd have to go a very long way back to see those numbers. Obviously, go back to a certain number 8 in a Liverpool shirt and Steven Gerrard, because that used to be just the average, really, for Stevie. In terms of just, I do miss those midfielders in the Premier League that guaranteed you like 10 to 15, like 10, 15 goals and then plus 10 assists. I know there's people might throw names out there, but I think the Eders of the Lampards, the Yaya Toures, the Gerrards, just those caliber of players. Obviously, Kevin De Bruyne in the modern era over the last 7-8 years under Pep, he's been absolutely phenomenal. He was putting up those numbers. But it's it's not that it's rare, but I think the last 7 8 years there's not the year of like the Gerrards and that, where there seemed to be like that type of caliber of player in everyone's midfield at that time. But as we know, the game has evolved season upon season as well. But Reds, let us know your thoughts in regards to the Liverpool Tottenham game. So yeah, Dominic Szoboszlai, Gravenberch in that sixth role. I think he's evolving not just his game, but certainly Liverpool's game. Um, Typical Dutch midfielder. I think every Liverpool fan spoke about him in glowing terms. Really, you watch him and he's in such close proximity with players, and he gets out of it. Like for a big lad, it's always the added saying. Really, you don't expect it from a big lad, but like Gravenberch, I think when you watch him on telly, but probably if you go to the ground or if you probably met him in person, he's an absolute man mountain. But like, could you imagine trying to play against him as well? Like he's like about 6'3", 6'4", and he's got the technical ability to very much just hold off midfielders or defenders as well. And you're like, how am I meant to tackle that? Especially when he's got that ability on the ball to just glide effortlessly from past midfielders as well. Such an absolute joy. So him and then McAllister, Maka. And but the main thing for Liverpool, as it has been all season, is just keep them fully fit. I think the rotation, Arne Slot, that's probably one of the best bits about Arne. I think since he's come into Liverpool, he's not afraid to not drop players, but just be very much aware not to run players into a brick wall. This is why, obviously, if you haven't checked out the Arne Slot interview with Gary Lineker, it's on BBC Sports, YouTube or socials or whatever, and he spoke. He said Liverpool will be making signings in the January, not January. We all wish, but next summer, which is understandable. He says that he gets Liverpool's fans' frustration, and he gets like that. Liverpool fans are looking at the age profile of certain players, and Arnie acknowledged that and said, "Yeah, I know. Like there will come a time where Liverpool." It just goes to say, I tell you what, this is going to be one big old war chest. We'd like to have hoped to have had a war chest really for Liverpool transfers every summer, but we've been saving up our pocket money, Liverpool, over the best part of the last 5 to 6 transfer windows. And by Lord, if we go out and splash the cash on an Isaac, chat, I know I've been keeping on going on about it as well. Big up there, the Anfield Lark. How are we, lads? I know you and the lads and everyone and the ladies going to game and that, mate, and just every Liverpool fan in general, mate, is enjoying watching this Liverpool side. It's an absolute joy to watch, really, Liverpool. It is. I think we are going into one of the best eras of Liverpool. I'm 100% confident about that, really. I do think, I've joked with the lads, I said Liverpool will go back-to-back doubles this year and next season. I'm that confident. As is, I was. Do you remember when we got beaten in Champions League final by Real Madrid? I'd done that post-match when I was absolutely knackered. Anyway, it's hard work watching Liverpool, as we all know. But I remember recording that video and I said, we'll be back. We'll be back to the Champions League final and we will win it. Because I was confident. I've watched this Liverpool side evolve over the last 7, 8, 9 years under Jurgen. But Jurgen allowing and stepping away from Liverpool at the right time. He didn't do what Arsene Wenger done and stayed at the football club for far too long. And then obviously it turned sour for Wenger. But obviously Arne Slot's come in, and it's not just Arne Slot as well. He deserves quite a lot of plaudits, rightly so. But it's just a group of players that we've got at the football club, chat. How many clubs do we watch in the Premier League? You look at Chelsea's, you look at United's, and just some of them, the attitude absolutely stinks the place out, really, in terms of just how they step on the pitch and wear their club's shirts, really. Like, you look at Van Dijk's, you look at everyone at Liverpool. Doesn't even matter if it's Chiesa coming off the bench, whoever's coming off the bench, even the youngsters as well. Do you know what their job is? Like, and Arne Slot probably says he's a very good manager, of course, he is still. But he just probably puts an arm around him and go, right, yeah, you're not playing this week, but we'll need you. We're only in the 8th of February. We're not Tottenham fans. We're not Arsenal fans going, hey, we won the league. Like, Arsenal were top of the league for a very long time. Liverpool were top of the league at this point last season as well. And we know what happened there. So, of course, we'll enjoy it. We'll wind rival fans up as well, because that's part of the game. We will be there. But we know these lads, whatever happens this season, they'll go out fighting. And they'll put absolutely everything on the line. But we are now witnessing even Mohamed Salah chat, even that game against Tottenham Hotspur as well. Obviously, Gakpo getting the first goal. I tell you what, chat. Gakpo, like in terms of statistically, obviously Salah getting the assist, lovely little Trivella to the back post, and Cody Gakpo getting the first goal, and that really set the precedent then. And then obviously the crowd got into the game as well, and then Richarlison went off just before half time. But yeah, it's mad. Like, when people go on social media and say, oh, obviously Virgil van Dijk's was a red card. It's like, mate, no, it wasn't. Like, anyone that's played any form of football, even Sunday League or any whatever level, really, it's very much like, it's just your body positioning. Like, how are centre halves or any defenders in the modern era of football meant to defend? They're not going to defend like penguins and put their hands behind the back. It's impossible. Like, and Richarlison doesn't take much for him to go down anyway. And we all seen. I was speaking to Gags on the Gags Tandon show after the game as well, and he obviously sent me the video live on air as well of Van Dijk going, wait, just taking the hand away from Richie, which was amazing, really, to say the least. Rods, how are we, bud? Hello, lad, and hope you're doing well, mate. And I know you'll be enjoying the fussy, lad. And yeah, nice one for tuning in, mate. And nice one to every single one of you for tuning in. As Lee said, the Spurs performance was classy in respects to how we played as a unit. We hardly gave Spurs a sight of goal, and Alisson had nothing to do. Son shot against the bar was Spurs' only highlight as well. Yeah, Lee, did you get a bit sad watching Son? Like, I don't feel. I do in a respect that you look at Heung-min Son's quality. Like, he is a player that over the last 7-8 years, a bit similar with Harry Kane, they're that good. They should have at least won trophies. If Liverpool didn't have Sadio Mane in the Klopp era, I think 100% Heung-min Son would have been at Liverpool. But obviously we had one of the best left wingers in world football at that period, and that was, sadly, Mane was much better than Son, even being honest. But Son was a very good footballer in his own right. But sadly, it's his own fault. He's literally just signed a new contract at Tottenham, and you shake your head going at Son. And what are you doing? Like, he's what's Son now, 32? Like, that would have been his possible time to maybe go to the Italian league, go to Serie A, go to possibly the Bundesliga or something. I know, obviously, teams wouldn't have been able to. Daniel Levy would have been asking for an absolute extortionate price, really, to say the least. But it's one of them, really. But yeah, big up there now. Neil, sorry, mate. Andy Robbo, rolling back the years recently. He's been much better, Neil. I think we can all, every Liverpool fan, we've been very critical of Andy Robbo. And I think if you haven't seen his interview that he done, it was last month, or recently anyway, when he spoke quite candidly, really, just saying he knows his performances have not been good enough. And obviously he spoke about the criticism from the Liverpool fans, but even he said, like, not paraphrasing really, but he just said, like, the pressure is understandable. He gets it. Being at a Liverpool football club, every player's position is under threat. Doesn't matter if you're Salah, Robinson, anyone really. If you're not performing, you'll get replaced. And that's the most important thing. That's how you drive success for any great football club, and the players know that themselves. Like, they drive the expectations, they drive the quality week after week in training, and then how they go out on the weekends as well, and very much perform midweek, back-to-back games, not a lot of rest. But I think now, like, the period in time in which we find ourselves at Liverpool is, like, it's that the shorter space of time is probably a lot more beneficial for me, even being honest. Like, in terms of the back-to-back games, I think even the players, numerous players in world football over the last couple of years have been on record of saying that other people might say they don't enjoy it, but the players themselves like it because it's constantly 24/7. Really, they're playing every like 48 hours or whatnot, and it just keeps them in rhythm. Really, I think the most difficult games, especially Liverpool before like even the Jurgen Klopp era, was very much you just play a game and then just a lack of consistency. Really, it's like, oh, you're waiting like absolutely ages to get round, and especially off the back of any disappointing results like we did. Well, it was a couple of draws a couple of weeks ago anyway, and everyone was like, oh, Liverpool have fallen off. It's like, no, Liverpool drew games, and if that's our like dip this season, then that just goes to show how far our levels are this season. They're absolutely amazing, and long may it continue as well. Because the main thing for Liverpool this year in the next couple of weeks is say just keep on focusing on ourselves, and then, as we've said, I think the League Cup will be the League Cup, and especially as it has been in terms of bringing players in terms of consistency as well. And you look at the FA Cup. I know everyone dismisses the FA Cup, and I understand. Maybe before we had Jurgen Klopp, where it was our squad wasn't as chock a blocker with those raw quality to say the least. Um, then maybe just obviously focus on the Premier League and Champions League. But I think the overall quality from a whole as a Liverpool team is massively improved, really, to say the least. And it's only going to bode well. I think the way I'm looking at the FA Cup chat, what are we saying on the FA Cup? Like in regards to Chiesa, I think playing him into a bit of form, playing him back into full fitness, really. I think him coming up against the likes of Plymouth Argyle, their fans will be like, wow, that lad's won the Euros with Italy not too long ago when he's played in Serie A with Juve. Yeah, so it's a bit mad for me. So as Lee said there, yeah, Arsenal have a bit of a rest now. Yeah, uh, how have you gauge Lee and chat in regards to Arsenal? We get their fan base, and big up Melina as well. Melina's a massive Arsenal fan, but Melina's very sensible in terms of rationale thinking, really, in regards to Arsenal. But as we know, like even as Liverpool fans, we'll sometimes get ahead of ourselves. But we've been here, done that. We've won the She-Shirts. We've won the league 19 times. Doesn't matter if you grew up in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. It's all very much similar, really, in that regard. It's the same process. You've got to go through stages of week to week to week, and it's just about having the type of caliber of players to just be confident, of course. But I think in terms of that Arsenal side, it's extremely immature still currently, and I get everyone's like going about the celebrations and all that. It's not about celebrations. It's just about how when Arsenal, when it comes down to it over the last 3 years, when it's come to crunch time in the big games, just keep focused. Like maybe if they had a Virgil van Dijk, I tell you now, if Virgil van Dijk was in that Arsenal side against Manchester City, like when they played City, I tell you what now, Virgil van Dijk would have probably been absolutely going ballistic. I know for the fact, we all know for a fact he would have been. He would have been shaking his egg at all those Arsenal players, going, lads, what are you doing? Like, get your head screwed on and then get back to the halfway line. We've got a job to do. But I look at that Arsenal side currently, and there's not a lot of leaders. I think I grew up in an era of watching the Henrys, the Vieiras, the Perez's, the Lumbergs. The list is absolutely endless. The Tony Adams. I was very young at the time, but I remember just watching the likes of those type of players. Henry was one of my favourite ever, still is one of my favourite ever players. He probably made me fall in love with football. Him and Ronaldinho, like just the stuff they used to do on a football pitch, was amazing. And then obviously Steven Gerrard doing what he does. Like the football's purest moments, but like at the minute, Arsenal are still very immature to say the least. The way in which they play their football, they need a lot more leaders in that team. And I think in terms of Odegaard, I don't know why he's not getting a lot of criticism. Like he somehow I get he's been injured this season, but where's Odegaard been in the big games as well, though, chat? Like Odegaard for me, like even was a couple of weeks ago when we were doing watch along. You're watching him and Declan Rice, and I'm still hearing Arsenal fans need to spend 300 odd million. Well, like well, like somehow they've spent 700-800 million and still not got a striker. And I'm not buying into this narrative that Kaya Havertz is not a striker. He's not a false nine. He is a central attacking midfielder. And Arteta for certain weeks this season played him on the wide right, and then he subbed Trossard in the middle. It's like, mate, come on, like you put your 6'3" striker, like your attacking midfielder or striker, whatever Arteta thinks. But it just very immature from Arteta. But I suppose I'm gutted for Saka. Really, I think every football fan is, really, because especially if you're going up against your rivals as well. I don't think anyone wishes any injuries on your rival players, because it can happen to anyone at any given time, really, anyone's players. So, yeah, you want to see Saka back to full fitness, because it can't just be Saka FC and certain other players. No, Martinelli's injured now as well. But that all falls back on to Mikel Arteta for not going out and spending correctly. You've spent money, but you haven't spent it in the right areas for me, which is still mad. It's still mad that they're still spending money, but still they're not getting any better. I don't know how, but that seems to be the case for the likes of Arsenal and Manchester City. Not Manchester City, Manchester United. Like, it just goes to smacks belief, really. Like, with Liverpool, we know the way we probably look at transfers, the only transfers that we make are only players that possibly could be breaking into the starting 11 or maybe into that like 13 or 14. Because whatever happens with Nunes, I think there's a lot of speculation off the back of tonight as well. But in recent weeks, it doesn't have to be. Obviously, we had reports last couple of weeks about Nunes possibly going to Saudi and bids coming in. I don't think those stories will disappear. I think they will very much ramp up in the next couple of seasons off the back of this year. I think when all those Liverpool players' stock is at its highest, I'd say. Obviously, Diaz has got 2 years left on his contract, as we know, everyone knows. And certainly from a club perspective, if Liverpool are to lose Van Dijk, Salah, and Trent, then the club have surely got to be looking at certain players on the peripheral and go, well, if they're not signing contracts, then we might need to make some money. And especially if you do sell Luis Diaz or another big lad up front, then that certainly pays for very much the contracts for the other three as well. Big up there, Mark. Massive thank you for tuning in, bud. Arteta will have time on the training pitch. Truly, he will. 100%. It's what he does with that time, really. Maybe he gets the speakers out again. Don't know. Big up there, John. Yeah, Chad, if you haven't seen that Arsenal documentary, go and check it out. Absolute madness. It's good. I'm expecting a big high score game for us, Mark. Yeah, 100%. Arsenal, one of the sides that he can stop nobody else in the title race with the greatest respect. The others, but it is us and Arsenal as well. Like, and it wouldn't surprise me. I think, chat. I think we've all said this. Was it Tottenham finished third in a 2-horse race all season? Was it when Leicester won the league? And somehow Tottenham finished. Was it Tottenham or Arsenal whoever finished third? Anyway, but yeah, just madness. But yeah, Mark, how's your day being, bud? And deserves a new. He does, like, because I think when you look at the if those reports in regards to Luis Diaz's wages, big up Arteta, get your speakers out, lot. In terms of whoever that is, who was it? What was I going to say? Yeah, late in terms of, as we know in chat, Luis Diaz is on a report like it's a 50 odd grand a week, which is madness. I think someone done a report, like it was a YouTube video last couple of weeks ago, and they were analysing, I think it was like a TikTok or something, where they analysed all the lowest paid wages in the starting 11 of every top team in the Premier League. And Luis Diaz, I think it come out as being only on 50 grand a week, which is mad, because obviously you look at Diaz now, obviously 27, 28 now, Luis Diaz, and he's got 2 years left on his contract. So you look at resellability, I think in terms of his reputation around European football, he's one of the most sought after wingers. I think there'll be a lot of clubs in for him if the possibility come to very much buying him as well. But yeah, Mark, relax, lad. It's all good. Yeah, he is. Yeah. Oh yeah, big up there, Luke. Anyway, yeah, big up there, chat. Some contracts down, we deserve at least that as well. Yeah, so fingers crossed. Well, obviously going into the Plymouth Argyle game, chat. But yeah, that Tottenham game, absolutely amazing. Chat, if you haven't seen the head over to Anfield Index as well, Mark. If you can drop. Oh yeah, massive thank you there, Mark. If you haven't already done so, as I said, anyone that checks out, obviously, it comes into the comments as well that you do have a YouTube channel. I give it a shout out as well. I'll get Mark to post your links in. So obviously, everyone head over to Miss Melina's YouTube channel as well. Or make sure you do head over to the Anfield Larks channel. Subscribe to all of them. Obviously, Uncle Rod's as well. Rod's, all he is that are doing YouTube, keep on smashing it. He's doing really well, so, and much appreciated. Thank you for taking the time out to tune in tonight as well, everyone. Much appreciated. Yeah, so head over to Uncle Rod's as well. Obviously, all the links are in the comments there if you can see them. Very much so. But yeah, hopefully I've missed anyone's. But yeah, Luke Show, get the contracts done. Well deserved, at least that as well. And make sure you do head over to Anfield Index as well. Obviously, we'll be doing the watch along over there tomorrow as well. No worries, lad. then feel like, what's your name? What's your name again? Like, it's not Anthony because I don't want to be. I always forget your name. Like it's doesn't matter anyway. I'll just keep on calling you Downfield. I'll just call you Lark anyway because I know Dave like when you always tune into Dave shows as well. But it's yeah, I'll just keep on calling you Lark. It's all good. Have you got your ticket, Lark, to the Wembley final? We know they're gonna be like gold dust anyway. Any final tickets for Liverpool, of course, especially with the great ballot that Liverpool always put on anyway. As long as the website doesn't crash. But Plymouth Argyle chat, it's gonna be. I'm hoping we progress. I want to see us win. Like, you can never get tired of winning trophies. Like, obviously the Premier League and the Champions League, numero uno. That is the number one target for Liverpool. But if you've got an opportunity, what is it now? If we beat, let's have a little look in terms of the. Is it the last? No, is there another? What round is it? Round four. So obviously, if you do go into the next stage of obviously the FA Cup, is that the last? Wait 1 second, chat. Yeah, whatever it is, the last eight or whatever. Right, you're into round five. Like you get if we do beat Plymouth tomorrow and we get a nice, lovely little draw against Preston, we will be there. Please. Hopefully it's a Liverpool legend taking doing the draw. Wait, what? Let all the Arsenal and Manchester United fans fume. Um, it's a conspiracy. But yeah, what is it? What like the balls are being warm? Like was it's not the 1960s? With the draws, the lotto numbers. But yeah, you're looking at a possibility. Liverpool, if we can get past Plymouth, it's going to be a difficult game because as we've seen already today, even audience doing well against Manchester City, it's not a given. There'll be a lot of rotation. You're looking at McConnell, you're looking at Kwanzaa, Lucho possibly playing tomorrow because he didn't really play a lot of minutes. He come off the bench against Tottenham, so you'd expect Lucho. You'd expect very much probably Harvey Elliott to start as well. Tyler Morton, he didn't go on. Yeah, he didn't get sold. Obviously, Middlesbrough put in a 10 million bid, but not materialised in that regard as well. And obviously, you got Aston Villa versus Tottenham. So, chat, yeah, let's hope Liverpool can progress tomorrow. Fingers crossed we can get the performance in. But just again, it's just going to be interesting to say how the levels really. I think constantly watching very much Liverpool week after week. It's just and I don't get this narrative like, well, it's always rival fans going like the narrative, oh, Liverpool are born to watch. Well, of course, because we're winning games, mate. Like the rival fans, of course, it's not enjoyable for them. Or their watch-alongs watching Liverpool games as well. And Liverpool are winning games. That must really pain them as well. But look, we will be there. It's amazing. And let's hope Liverpool going into tomorrow's game, 3 p.m. kickoff. Obviously, the watch along will be on Anfield Index tomorrow as well. So there's plenty of content out there, everyone. If you haven't already done so, please do head over to Anfield Index. Very close to 7,000 on YouTube as well. Obviously, been going for 14 years as well. Gags and everyone involved on that channel. It's been an absolute privilege and pleasure. Made up to contribute this season as well as for whatever way I can as well. So yeah, let's hope it's another result for Liverpool tomorrow, and very much Liverpool put in a very sound performance. But the main thing is that Liverpool just avoid very much any injuries, to say the least, as well. I think that's going to be the main objective really for Liverpool. Chat, get your start 11s in for the Plymouth game anyway. Oh, geez, chat. Oh. So I think Luke's gone with Kelleher, Bradley, Quonset. Gomez is back, chat, isn't he? Nice one for that, Luke. I keep on forgetting he's back. Let's hope Gomez is back to full fit Gomez. But games like in the FA Cup are going to be so pivotal. Really, this is why for me I do hope that Liverpool progress quite deep into the competition. Really, of course, we obviously when we've got our Everton game. It's that midweek is it Real Madrid, Manchester City? That's going to be amazing. Like, the fact that we've come top of that group and we're just allowed not to rest, but we're just not having to panic really in regards to Champions League football. We can just sit back, relax, and then watch City get absolutely battered for like 2, 3 weeks on the bounce. So it'll be amazing. Or City knock out Real Madrid. It's an absolute win-win. Ideally, would be great if both of them got knocked out. Well, saying that, if Bayern Munich, if Bayern Munich yeah, because City, yeah, if Bayern Munich can beat both of them, that'd be sound. I might apologize, I'm wrong there. If Bayern can beat both of them, say if City knock out Real Madrid and then Bayern beat City, is that how it works? To draw? Just that draw still confuses me still today. I know we're having because they're having to do another draw again. It's like, mate, come on. There's milk in it, and then there's milk in it. Like, fair play to the to UEFA getting that money and dollar in due to obviously the sponsors, just all splashing the sponsors in the background as well, and which is fair play. They get that's weird, and that's as long as that money sponsorship money gets paid to Liverpool to very much sign new contracts, please. That'd be the main thing. But yeah, who's on tomorrow as well? So you got the Wolves away to Blackburn. That won't be an easy game really for Wolves. They've been playing really well. Blackburn this season. If you haven't seen them in the Champions League, long time ago they were. Obviously, so you got Palace away to Doncaster. You'd expect that to be a Palace win. Forest against Exeter. Come on, Exeter. Forest to be winning that. And yeah, I think that's the last couple of games anyway. But Reds, it's been an absolute pleasure. I have to call it a night here, everyone. Very much appreciated as always. Good to see a couple of new faces in here as well, everyone. Really do appreciate it. But let's get to all your last couple of comments anyway. Is worth using Jota, leave him on the Prem. Everton will be, yeah, it's difficult really. Everton will pull out the dark arts, but I think they'll do absolutely everything really to derail Liverpool's title charge really. This season, the 1898. So I say now, post matches were the thing back in those days. Maybe in 100 years' time, fingers crossed. So yeah, imagine in 100 years' time, YouTube and all that. Yeah, that'd be mad. Lee saying 1984 treble repeat, the League Cup, the League Championship, and obviously Europe would be nicely 41 years on. Yeah, Lee, that would be very special, mate. Fingers crossed that is the case this year, mate. But we can get ahead of ourselves, can't we, Reds? And let's hope Liverpool can do the business this year. But just a joy to watch Liverpool. Enjoy it because all of us remember the Hodgkinson days, and certainly before even Jurgen Klopp come in. Obviously, the great years under Houllier, but I was quite young then, really. I didn't fully, like all of us, when you're a bit younger, you don't fully appreciate what you're seeing in a Liverpool side. But I think people of my generation or my age as well, or just even the 70s and 80s generation, everyone can very much appreciate what we've seen under Jurgen and certainly now under Arne Slot as well. So we're just very blessed to support this club, and this team has all the qualities to take us to finals, Everton. So long may continue, Reds. I will see you tomorrow evening on here, and I will see you on Anfield Index as well, everyone. If you haven't already done so, do head over to Anfield Index. Drop them a subscribe and everyone. I'm much appreciated. But yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in. Do apologise, obviously, been a bit sporadic really, but I'm working full time at Anfield Index, so I've been very busy, so which I'm loving, which is always well and good. So yeah, just everyone, if you're wondering where I am, I'm on Anfield Index, so head over, check it out, and get involved with all their shows as well, not just my shows, but all the lads and ladies as well, doing amazing content over there. But yeah, we're in fine form, 100% early. But chat, yeah, last 16 next round, is it, Luke? Yeah, sounds. Long way to go anyway in all those competitions. But Reds, everyone, even rival fans as well, have a lovely rest of your night. Thank you to everyone that is tuned in. And let's hope Liverpool can very much get past Plymouth Argyle. Come on, Chiesa, lad. We want a hat trick. We will be there. But chat, have a lovely night. See you again tomorrow. Ta-ra.